You have to get your priorities right.
Very clear, of course.
Whether it's food or life.
Yeah.
Typography can happen, lettering can happen. Don't take it very
चाहिए boss.
seriously.
खीर खत्म नहीं होना चाहिए.
Kheer chahiye. Dear subscriber, I don't know what's wrong with that lady. Is the Citibank lady you?
Welcome to Creative Talkative with Ketki Tewary.
Yeah, we're creative and talkative. There's no stopping this. There's no topping this. Time to explain what's in our veins, what's in our minds. Take a peek into these lives. Yeah, we're creative and talkative. There's no stopping this. There's no topping this.
Today on Creative Talkative, we are getting talkative with Chandan Mahimkar, who after working with some of the leading advertising, design and digital agencies to create and grow some of the most iconic brands, started his own multidisciplinary studio. His lettering work has been published in some of the most reputed books in the US and Australia. His witty and sharp sense of humor reflects in his work and our talk today. On a lovely Wednesday afternoon, here we are in the office of Chandan Mahimkar, and it's a lovely cozy office, and I'd like to welcome you to Creative Talkative.
Thank you
Thanks
so
so much for taking the time out. So tell me one thing, advertising and then design and then chief creative officer and then lettering artist and then a teacher and then traveler and a writer. So many hats you don. Which is your favorite? So
Every day is different. So no one day is similar in my life for so many years now. So I try to juggle in between these roles on any given day.
we started in advertising pretty much at the same time. Tell me, do you also feel that we should have started at a different time, or do you think we started at the right time? Or
We got the best of both worlds. The analog advertising design, the digital advertising and design, and now work from home, work from anywhere kind of life. So we have seen all of it.
we've seen all. In a way, we can resonate because we've
Definitely.
tried so many different things.
Yeah.
But having said that, we started in the same agency, and very interestingly, we also worked on a few brands which were common.
Yeah.
So, how was it working on a car account? See, what excited me is that I was working on a car brand.
And eventually that campaign which was presented among the 35 campaigns, that my campaign which I designed, out of the 3 campaigns that I designed, was selected as the look for the final campaign.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The
I was
Futura
aware.
extra bold that I used.
Yes.
So some part of design which I loved right from my college days in JJA, FCB had a lot to contribute to that, because we had a huge account called Amul.
Yes.
And I designed some 8 or 9 Amul packagings in that 98, 99, 2000. So if you go to the supermarket, if you go to your local Kirana Mall store or that small outlet near your society, it's your work that you're looking at. And that's, to a young designer, art director in the industry, that gives so much of confidence.
That is unparalleled, yes. I remember I had done it was a sticker. It was approved for Whirlpool.
Lovely.
And they carried that sticker on their washing machine, I think till recently.
Correct.
And every time I would look at it, I would feel so happy, and then eventually I ended up buying a Whirlpool machine. And every day I would look at it in my house and say, that sticker, that's my design.
And you imagine the power of that one sticker on the product.
Okay, so moving on. Tell me about Grey.
So another friend, industry friend, referred me to a creative director in Grey Worldwide.
Okay.
And it was a fantastic duo. Again, award winners, achievers. And I met them, they immediately offered me the job, and 2 years I spent there with this team. And it was the most fantastic 2 years in the whatever. This is my 27th year going on now in the industry. And those 2 years I will never forget.
So tell me about your an award that you spoke about the other day, which was for an ad which
it was an ad for receptionist,
yes.
for Cosmos, my first job.
Okay.
And we were crafting this ad.
Was that your first award? Okay.
That was my first award. Yes.
Okay.
The ad was for the receptionist for Cosmos. We actually wanted a receptionist. It was not a scam. So our phone number was very unique, Cosmos.
Okay.
3636111 was the number. So I broke it in 3 parts. 36, 36,111.
Okay.
And the writer Sunil Shibat said, the perfect figure for a receptionist. I know it sounds a little sexist now,
Yes.
but it doesn't matter, it's advertising.
And how has been your teaching experience?
Fantastic, yeah. Fantastic to mold these young students is a great experience. There's so much I get to learn in terms of how this generation thinks.
Yeah.
I'm also learning in that process. We are living in quite a very different communication stroke, marketing environment. And the beliefs are kind of morphing into something else.
Actually, we discussed this a little earlier that, I think now it's more about mentoring and not so much teaching. You definitely can't go the traditional way.
Yeah, and teaching comes naturally to me actually. So I didn't try harder to become a teacher. I anyway have mentored so many young visualizers, art directors in the course of my time in advertising. However, getting the next generation also understand these nuances is, I think, the core objective of my teaching.
You mentioned something about having a turning point in 2009.
Yeah.
What happened in 2009?
2009, I think I was enough experienced leading a large team in an agency called Law & Kenneth. So what I realized is this entrepreneurship started coming inside me. And the craft and everything was happening, but the entrepreneur started loving the attention that he was getting, the respect that he was getting, the growth that was happening within me. So thinking about team members, all of that started, which is the leadership role. And I think I'm set now to start on my own. So design was not just the thing that I was doing actually.
You're doing multiple things.
So it was not that my dream came suddenly true where I'm only doing design.
Yeah.
I was still, because I built other brands as well. Right from ITC Fiamma to ITC Vivil, both these brands, their identities, their packaging. So again, a part of that happened before 2009, but 2013 we went to Cannes, the Creativity Festival in France, south of France. And there when I saw people much younger than me standing on the stage giving presentations, I said, I can do that. We all can do that. It's just that.
And if you're in Cannes and then you know that you can do it, then
correct.
You can do it.
Yeah,
right?
you can.
So this happened in 2013.
Yes.
And your design studio says established 2017.
Correct. So 4 years it took for me to
finally take that step.
I thought it needs to take its own time. I didn't put stress on myself and I enjoyed.
So you specialized in typography, right? At
In
JJ.
college, yeah. In the last year, it was typography as specialization.
So at that time, did you ever think that you would get into hand lettering or clearly lettering or, is something that you love?
Typography is the base of understanding the type structure.
Correct.
Terminology, but lettering is kind of breaking the rules and using it to create kind of imaginative compositions out of letter forms.
Right. So I've seen a lot of your hand lettering work, and I remember seeing this series of posters you created for the Kalagoda Art Festival, right? Yeah. That was about bringing the heritage of the iconic Mumbai restaurants or something like that, right?
The theme for that exhibit, curated by Alok Nanda, was celebrating typography of Bombay stroke Mumbai.
Interestingly, one of the posters that I saw, which had a lot of these Britannian, and I was thinking that we've, during that time when we were all working in South Bombay, we've eaten at all these places,
correct.
Right from Kayani's to Britannia, and
Yeah.
So and every time we used to go there, we would always, feel that this is dying. This culture of so-called, how the typography was painted there on those walls,
hand painted signboard, 3D letters,
that's right.
Art Deco, Art Nouveau.
Crystal, remember Crystal?
Yeah, Crystal in Girgaon.
Girgaon, yeah.
It's a vegetarian place, Punjabi food, amazing food. Used to come from FCB in the afternoon.
And we used to come and tell them, pehle kheer rakh dena side mein, because that kheer used to get over.
You have to get your priorities
Yeah,
right.
very clear, of course.
Whether it's food or life.
Yeah, yeah.
Set your priorities
Absolutely.
right. Typography can happen, lettering can happen. Don't take
खीर
it very
चाहिए बॉस,
seriously.
खीर खत्म नहीं होना चाहिए. हाँ.
खीर चाहिए. Nice. I'm less of an advertising person in real life because I've left advertising for 5 years now.
But you know what? Naturally, for me, more than advertising, I'm a radio jockey in real life. I got my first big break was I became the IVR voice for Reliance.
Nice.
Okay, so I didn't know what is an
Not
IVR.
Reliance Energy, of course, right? Like imagine I'm designing the Reliance Energy
No.
bill, the campaign,
No.
and the IVR is also Ketki
Yeah.
Tewary.
No, it was not.
कितना बड़ा coincidence हो
कितना
गया.
ना,
So
सोचो.
after Indica, no coincidence happened in
No,
LA.
I don't
Tata
think
Indica.
so. No, I don't think so. Yeah. They would just give me, today you have to recite numbers from 1 to 90. Okay, so I would just be there doing 1, 2, and I would not realize, but
Because
then
it's cut
finally,
paste, no,
yes.
for them, yeah.
Then what started
Later
making
on.
sense to me is that when you call and then when you ask for your bill, so that's the reason why it sounds
very funny,
It
yeah.
sounds so
Have
funny.
you heard of the Citibank IVR lady?
Yes, I have.
She's quite sensual. Huh?
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with that lady.
No,
And
but
what's
they-
wrong with Citibank
No,
to have
but they
such
give
sensual
you.
voice?
They give you. I remember I was called for a voiceover.
Dear
for,
subscriber.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. No, but at
dude,
least.
I only want to
Yeah, I
know certain very private financial things.
Yeah,
There's
but
no
then
need
that
to be
is-
sensual about it.
So I remember going for a voiceover, and the only sound effect they needed was that the girl is eating the biscuit, and then she's gone into the zone where it's very sensual experience. So can you believe I spent Friday evening at a studio in Bandra?
Is the Citibank lady you?
No, excuse me, no.
Like,
but I
finally
actually.
it's like Sixth Sense.
But
Bruce
I
Willis
cannot
himself
tell you
realizes he's the
how
ghost,
hilarious-
and I have realized
Yeah.
Ketki is the woman who's been sensually talking to
Thankfully
thousands
not.
of subscribers. What experience we
Can
have
you
to
imagine?
grow, right? But
Can
one
you
has to
imagine?
go through the grind, I think,
Of
to
course.
understand the black and white difference, and because people want you to be in the grey area always.
So you know what? I also have this interesting game that I've planned. What I would like to call it is read between the lines.
Okay.
Clients say things all the time, designers say things all the time. So we are going to talk about a few sort of legendary things that clients say and what they mean.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll tell you what they say and then let's discuss what they mean.
Okay.
So, okay, here goes. We want a design that's really fresh and unique. What if a client says that?
I think they're just exploring another way of doing that campaign or design. They are not sure what to tell the designer.
Okay, so the next one on the client side is come on, it will only take a minute to make the changes.
Yeah, but it took me 20 years to make it in 2 minutes, right?
Our startup is taking off, we'll pay you in equity.
Equity? Why equity? I mean, I should own the company from day one. You work for me.
Yeah.
It should be that, no?
Okay, we want a logo that's as timeless as Apple or Nike.
But do you have the budgets?
All the time.
Do you have the budgets like Nike or Apple?
But that's very simple. Tick मारने में कितना time लगता है? Okay, now we go to the other side. Whenever you get the time to check the invoice, is fine. There's no rush.
एक महीना हो गया invoice देके.
हाँ, एक महीना हो गया. जरा थोड़ा तो clear कर दो अभी.
I think 90-day credit period तो agency देते हैं sir, लेकिन मैं तो freelancer हूँ.
हाँ. I'm uploading the final design right now. What if a designer says that to a client?
I don't care now, but it's still the final.
So anyway, we digressed. Going back to space design. So you've done a lot of restaurants, you said, right? So that happened because you have this love for, like you said, the places you love to go to restaurants. Is that why it happened?
One of Praveen Kenneth's friends came up with this concept of rebranding Potpourri in Bandra.
Right.
Potpourri was already there.
Yeah.
Revisiting the branding. It was not rebranding in the way Potpourri name would not change. Like restaurant is kind of, you love it, right?
Yeah.
We all love restaurants, bars.
Yeah, that's true.
So I presented a swatch. They loved it. Unfortunately, they took the decision of not continuing with Potpourri there.
Yes, I remember.
And lemongrass
It just
came
shut.
in.
It just shut
Lemongrass
down,
came.
and lemongrass.
That
came.
was
Yes.
late 2009 when that
Yes,
happened.
yes.
And I designed WTF in Khar,
Right.
then WTF in Warsaw, in Pune, Seasons Mall, WTF in Pune, Viman Nagar, Phoenix Market City.
Oh.
And I think we did Loka Loka in Khar. We did Big Nasty in Khar. Then Big Nasty went and then came Tanjore Tiffin Room.
Yes.
In Warsaw first and then in Bandra. All of these are designed, created, and I also had another partner in creating till Big Nasty.
Okay.
Vinayak Upadhyay, my creative copy partner.
Okay.
My brother.
You talk about Tanjore Tiffin Room. So I think a couple of years ago, I went there on my birthday. And then I looked at the place and I said, whoever has done this has done a great job.
And there's always a quirk that helps in doing space design. Like if you see the monkeys,
yes,
they're holding the lights.
Yes.
That's something which just came in the spur of the moment while I was creating the swatch. Of course, lettering, typography does play a part, but you decide like a good conductor, orchestra conductor. What
needs to play up and what you need to play down.
Because you need to tell the story.
For the benefit of the people listening in, what is the difference between font, type and lettering?
So font and typeface or type can be used interchangeably, to be very honest. The era of wood type, metal type is when you would see a reverse impression of the type carved on that block.
Yes.
In the letterpress world. So that tip of that block of every glyph is the face of that structure.
Right.
So, and there is a type on it. So that's why typeface. Right?
What about lettering?
Lettering is hand drawn. It's more imaginative, it's more flexible. It is kind of an illustrative approach. You call 3 people and tell them to sketch the letter T of typography.
They'll all do it in
Somebody will do it in serif, somebody will do it elongated, somebody will draw it in a stretched style, somebody can draw a bark of a tree, the T, and therefore the letter T can appear out of the tree trunk. So that's imaginative.
I don't think a lot of people even understand how typography has played a role in, say, branding or advertising. But when you really approach it this way is when,
Yeah, I think we all know typography because the power of the message is actually power of typography. Message and typography is like the same thing. So the power of the message increases if you use the right typeface.
Let us tell you what we wanna say. Not about just getting paid or achieving fame. It's about the everyday blood, sweat and tears, dreams and fears. Everything you gotta hear. Listen, from the first steps to the final leap, making headlines in history. How they did it, it's no mystery. Take a seat, honestly. Yeah, we're creative and talkative. There's no stopping this, there's no topping this. Time for honesty with some novelty. Sit down with KT, you just hit the lottery.
Hope you had as much fun listening as we did talking. Do subscribe for updates on our upcoming episode out every Friday. Like, share and follow us on YouTube, Facebook and Instagram, as well as creativetalkative.com. That's creative with a K.